Well, LEVAN did it again. There's been a running joke that even though LEVAN is making it seem like he isn't as strong as he used to be, he's just gonna drop a video of like a 500 kilogram wrist curl right before the match. And the more footage we see, it's starting to look like that might actually happen. Once again, LEVAN beat Devon's back pressure pronation record, and he made it look super easy. Let's take a look at the lift. So that was a really good lift upon initial reactions, and to be honest, if we compare it to any of Devon's recent lifts, I think LEVAN's technique is significantly more difficult for multiple reasons. Firstly, LEVAN's forearm angle is closer to parallel to the floor than Devon's is. Just like in a squat, this pronation lift is more difficult if you hit parallel. Now in some of Devon's older lifts where he's actually hitting parallel, his form is probably better than LEVAN's is here, but just comparing LEVAN's lift and Devon's most recent lift, I think LEVAN's is better. Another difference is the fact that LEVAN actively curled the weight up as opposed to simply isometrically budging it off the floor like Devon does, or even getting stretched open. Not that that's technically better form, but it is more difficult. So this lift from LEVAN just goes to show how insane he is. I think that most of us would have agreed that LEVAN is stronger than Devon in 9 out of 10 lanes, but some of us had wondered if potentially Devon was slightly stronger than LEVAN only in the area of pronation. But LEVAN just showed us that even in that lane, he still has Devon beat. Now another thing that needs to be mentioned about this lift is that there is a chance LEVAN did this at the end of his workouts, and LEVAN said that he trained for like 6 hours or something crazy. So if LEVAN literally trained for 6 hours and then still beat Devon's lift and used better form, that's just ridiculous. Now to be totally fair to Devon, whenever he does his lifts, he's probably already hit several singles and had an arm wrestling practice the same day, so I guess in this case neither guy is fresh. But at the end of the day, LEVAN still did more weight and on what I think is a harder lift. So what does this mean for Devon? I will say that I'm honestly impressed that Devon is even close to LEVAN in any lift, even if he made up the lift himself. LEVAN did hit more than Devon, but I think Devon is probably pretty close to LEVAN's max. Whereas if you compare that to something like bench press, for example, Devon probably won't even lift half of what LEVAN can. But this is pretty much what you would expect. Even in Devon's strongest lane, LEVAN has still probably got him beat by 5 or 10%. So just like last time, Devon is still going to have to rely on getting a perfect setup, sticking that King's move, and gassing LEVAN out over rounds. And of course, while LEVAN's lift is impressive, it doesn't necessarily mean all that much for him in this match. Even though LEVAN can easily crack Devon's wrist, that isn't enough. LEVAN will likely need to keep his own wrist at the same time. So as we've talked about before, LEVAN's cupping strength will probably be more important than this pronation lift. Devon is going to be totally okay if both pullers lose their wrist, but LEVAN probably won't like this. So will this lift from LEVAN have a huge impact on the match? I kinda don't think so, but it is still funny to see LEVAN just beat Devon's record once again out of nowhere on a lift that Devon invented. But let me know what you guys think about this. Does this only confirm what you already thought, or is it surprising that LEVAN was able to beat Devon's record once again? Who knows, maybe we're about to get that wrist curl video after all.